Jeff Bezos, one of the most recognizable names in the world today, has experienced a loss that cannot be measured in wealth, influence, or global reach. His mother, Jacklyn "Jackie" Bezos, has passed away at the age of 78, leaving behind not just her children and grandchildren, but also a legacy that is deeply personal, profoundly human, and impossible to replicate. The news of her passing came from the Bezos Family Foundation, the organization she helped to build and devoted her later years to, which announced the sad update on Thursday. Alongside a photo capturing her bright smile and gentle warmth, they shared a moving tribute that described not only the circumstances of her death but also the very essence of the woman she was. Jackie died peacefully at her home in Miami, Florida, surrounded by family. The statement from the foundation revealed that she had been living with Lewy body dementia since her diagnosis in 2020. While the exact cause of her passing was not detailed, the public learned that this cruel neurological disease had gradually taken a toll on her health over the past several years. The tribute expressed gratitude to the healthcare team who cared for her and offered heartfelt praise for her husband, Mike Bezos, who remained by her side through every stage of her illness, not as a caretaker in title alone, but as a constant, loving presence who ensured she was never without comfort or dignity. The words chosen to honor her were deliberate and full of meaning. The foundation called Jackie the true meaning of grit and determination, kindness and service to others, a description that was far from empty flattery. Those values weren't just inspirational phrases, they were qualities Jackie lived by, day in and day out. They were also values she passed on to her children, instilling in them the importance of kindness, resilience, and togetherness. For Jeff, these lessons were the building blocks of the character that would later allow him to withstand the pressures of building Amazon from scratch. Jackie's story began far from boardrooms and billion-dollar valuations. She was born in 1946, growing up in an America still recovering from World War II. The world she entered was one where opportunities for young women were often narrow and predetermined, yet she displayed an independent spirit even as a child. Those who knew her in her youth recalled that she had a sharp mind, a sense of humor that could light up a room, and a determination to make her own way. That determination would be tested earlier than she ever expected. At just 17 years old, Jackie became a mother to her first child, Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen, the boy who would one day be known to the world as Jeff Bezos. The timing was challenging by any measure. She was still in high school, still figuring out her own life, and now faced the responsibility of raising a child. Her first marriage, to Jeff's biological father, Ted Jorgensen, was brief and turbulent, and by the time Jeff was just a toddler, the marriage had ended. In those early years, Jackie juggled school, work, and parenting in a way that demanded every ounce of her energy. Money was tight, and life required creativity just to keep moving forward. She later recalled stories of working late hours and attending night classes while ensuring Jeff was cared for and loved. Her goal was always to protect his future, even if it meant sacrificing her own comfort. Her life took a transformative turn when she met Mike Bezos, a young Cuban immigrant who had arrived in the United States as part of Operation Pedro Pan, a program that brought over 14,000 unaccompanied minors to America from Cuba in the early 1960s. Mike's own life story was marked by resilience. He had come to the country with nothing, learned English, and built a new life from the ground up. The two connected on a deep level, not just romantically, but in their shared belief in hard work, family, and perseverance. Mike embraced Jeff as his own son, eventually adopting him and giving him the Bezos name. Together, Jackie and Mike created a home that nurtured curiosity, discipline, and imagination. They encouraged Jeff to explore his interests, whether it was tinkering with gadgets in the garage, building homemade contraptions, or reading voraciously. Jackie's influence in these formative years was profound. She believed in letting Jeff experiment, make mistakes, and think big, even if it meant a mess in the living room or a late night in the garage. That belief would prove to be crucial decades later, in 1995, when Jeff approached Jackie and Mike with an idea for an online bookstore. The concept of e-commerce was still foreign to most people, and the idea of selling books over the internet seemed far-fetched to many. But Jackie and Mike didn't see it that way. They saw the same spark in Jeff that they had always seen, a spark that told them he was onto something, even if the world hadn't caught up yet. They made the decision to invest just under $250,000 into his startup. It was a significant sum for them, not something they could part with lightly, but their belief in Jeff outweighed the financial risk. This investment would become one of the most successful parental bets in history, ultimately helping launch Amazon into what it is today. But for Jackie, the return on investment wasn't measured in dollars. It was measured in the pride she felt watching her son turn his dream into reality. Outside of her role as a mother, Jackie forged her own path as a philanthropist and advocate for education. Through the Bezos Family Foundation, she worked to promote early childhood learning and to provide resources for educators. She believed deeply in the transformative power of education, not only as a means to personal success, but as a way to create a more equitable society. Her work often went unpublicized, but those who benefited from the foundation's programs understood the depth of her commitment. When Jackie was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia in 2020, it was a blow to the entire family. The disease, which combines symptoms of both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, is notoriously difficult, affecting memory, movement, and cognitive function. But in true Jackie fashion, she faced it with quiet strength. Mike remained by her side, her children visited frequently, and her grandchildren brought joy into her days. Even as the disease progressed, her warmth and kindness continued to shine through in small, beautiful moments, a smile, a squeeze of the hand, a laugh that escaped unexpectedly. The news of her death has been met with an outpouring of grief and admiration from those who knew her personally and those who knew of her through her work. Jeff's new wife, Lauren Sanchez, re-shared the foundation's tribute on Instagram, adding only a broken heart emoji, a small but powerful acknowledgement of the deep loss now felt within the Bezos family. For Jeff, this loss is immeasurable. In interviews over the years, he often spoke about his mother with reverence, crediting her for teaching him to be self-reliant, to approach problems with creativity, and to remain grounded regardless of success or failure. These lessons weren't learned in board meetings or through business deals, they were learned at the kitchen table, in the family car on long drives, and in the countless everyday moments that make up a childhood. Jacklyn, Jackie Bezos is survived by her devoted husband, Mike, her children, and her grandchildren, all of whom carry forward her values and her spirit. Her life was a testament to the fact that greatness isn't defined solely by public achievements, but by the love you give, the people you lift up, and the integrity with which you live. She was 78 years old. May she rest in peace, her memory living on in every life she touched. Well guys, what are your thoughts? Do tell us in comment section below. Thanks for watching.